Hello and welcome back to Mina the Hollower, where today we are potentially going to finish this second run. As we have got 2 more towers to go to. And yeah. So before we get on the train to Coltrane, I kind of want to grab some sub-weapons. I almost touched that can. That was terrifying. Admittedly, there's a good chance that we end up just losing any sub-weapons I grab. But better to have them in the first place. And I mean, hey, we can actually make sure we don't lose one of them. Candle. Thankfully, we do have an autosave right there. I'm gonna drop down in here just to make absolutely certain. Yup, still blue. Gotta keep that thing in the top left blue. If it stops being blue, then I need to reload an earlier save. There's the other sub-weapon I wanted. Don't know why I specifically wanted the bike. I guess because it's one that I know where it is and doesn't suck. Did not let go of the burrow button and therefore fell in the hole. But okay, now we have got some sub-weapons. Not ones that I'm going to be using in the upcoming boss fight, but hey, they exist. If I knew convenient locations where I could get my hands on locomotion-based sub-weapons, I might have grabbed something more combat-oriented, but yeah, I don't know where to find those. Not off the top of my head. And we are going to actually copy this save now that I have some sub-weapons. That was still blue. Yes, yes it was. Okay. Time to hop on this train to Coltrane. Wow, these funds will go far. A new car is on the way. Stand clear. Go ahead and pick a destination. With this new plow, we should be able to reach even Coltrane Peak. Let's go. Alright, so I need to not talk to the conductor just yet. I won't travel with my kids since they tried walking on the rails. Whatever treasure is out there, it's not worth it. I'm glad I have 2 Kiers. Because we are only allowed to take this train once. And I would not have wanted to miss out on the safety shroud. This is your engineer. Everyone remain calm. We are going to crash. What do I do? Should I jump off the train? Mina, I'm sorry I couldn't stop thinking of you as food. It's shameful, but I'm just a hungry dog. I'm gonna flap my way out of here if things get too crazy. I am a bird, after all. First the crash at sea and now this? Why am I so unlucky with travel? This is no time for chit-chat. Do something. Someone get to the front. Maybe we can disable the train. No, I'm too rich to die. Calm down, calm down. Are we sure this isn't another surprise drill? According to my books, train travel carries only a 3% accident rate. We'll be fine. Stay calm, stay calm, stay calm, stay calm, stay calm, stay calm. Well, I guess this is the end. I'll never finish the book I've been reading. What a concern. Mina, keep a brave face on and let's solve this mess. You first. I said trains were where life's drama unfold. Stupid, stupid. Mina, we've lost the brakes. We're heading straight for the cliff. You're a hollower, aren't you? Maybe you can climb up there and stop it somehow? Okay, boss time. Another disaster of your making. I told you, either stand with me or stay out of my way. Hold on, you just saved everyone on board. How did you know the train was in danger? Do you hear nothing I say? Your generator shattered this land. There are no tracks ahead. Why are you so obstinate? Can't you see? I saved them from the train. I'll save them from the blasted generators. Even if you're right, we must repair them all first before shutting them down at Radiant Tower. We have to shut them off safely. If we don't, catastrophe will follow. The only catastrophe is letting them remain, Mina. I won't stand by while you endanger us all. Away with you! Flying. He's really annoying. So we can only hit him while jumping. Okay, we got him. Look, since I wrote you as Marshall, since the sea monster, since it all, things have turned desperate. Hey there, Nick. If you care at all, Mina, then turn from Lionel's lies. Stop repairing those towers before they kill us all. I'm glad I got that first try. Apparently you are allowed to take the train to reattempt that battle as many times as you need. because it only counts arriving at a station on the train as using the train. But still, prefer not having to even ride it more than once. Train's down. Without worker wisps, the repair will take a while.
Thanks for taking care of those monsters. I think my life flashed before my eyes for a second there.
Actually, I will go this way. Was considering for a moment not going this way just yet, but then realized, hey wait, going this way enables us to come back to Coltrane if necessary. Yeah, I shouldn't have done that then. Indeed, Nick, it is time for more no candle breaking. Yeah, got the 500. That's the last cure I have right now, but opens the path back up to there. And now that this rope has been dropped, we actually can get back up to Coltrane without taking the train. Not that I have any reason to leave Coltrane at the moment, but I wanted to get that unlocked. I forget, can we... No, we cannot go left of here while the train is present. At least not while it's broken down. And we still got blue. I don't think we need primed vial pouch while we're going through this area. Let's grab the polyp lamp instead, and the tunneling codex isn't super useful here because of the way ice interacts with burrowing. But the pit preserver will be helpful. I don't know that the polyp lamp is actually going to be helpful, but if we do find ourselves in a dark area, it will be nice to have. since we have reached a new checkpoint while remaining blue. In fact, we're bluer than ever now that Mina herself is blue. Air dash so good. Seriously, the air dash is so good. I'm never going to equip that burning bestium. But the fact that I was able to get it with such ease because of the air dash, like, the air dash trinket is so worth grabbing. And I've boned up, so let's get some more defense. Even though I did just get a huge amount more defense from getting this cloak, I just noticed that. I don't know that 50 bones was worth walking back here, but... And here's that rope dropped, so now we have a nice way back to that checkpoint. I have only used one vial, so no real need to enter the checkpoint, but having it is nice. Just trying to burrow, not to ride the rails. These evil hollowers are annoying. Ow. Sir, you should have fallen in that pit. Whoops. Gnawing ghosts are better than an empty slot. I do appreciate having another Kier on my person. And we have reached a new checkpoint while keeping our blue. And therefore, back to title screen. Ah, yes. There's a boss that we are not allowed to fight in there. So I am, at least, allowed to grab that. And what's in here? A path to more things. These would have helped beating the knight. Thrown stuff does lots of damage. Ooh, I don't like that. I'll grab it though. And we'll just be stuck with it. Until such a time as we get back to a checkpoint, which we could actually do without too much effort right now. Oh, wait. It didn't change my weapon. Thank you, game. I guess because that was meant to be... probably because that wasn't the first time we've gotten the coffin. That's probably why. So what's in here? Oh. New checkpoint, still blue. Well, missed out on the 50 bones there, but whatever. Rip that skull. Wait. Where are you going, Centidog? Dogapede? I really feel like this should lead somewhere and not just be a way back to a place you've already been. I was not trying to pick the bomb up. Frozen Horror unfroze. And it just can't take the cold of outside its ice cube. Well, we got enough for another defense upgrade. I'll take that. And now to hop into one last mirror to open one of these. Right. They contain skulls, which they drop upon hitting something after rebounding. Sure, I may have hit myself with a couple, but at least I got all the bones. And we're just never allowed to activate the green ones, because to do so requires going through an optional boss that I am not allowed to defeat if I want to keep things blue. New checkpoint, still blue. We know what that means. Well, at least I somehow convinced the evil Hollower to jump onto the platform that was disappearing. I saw that. I would not mind another Kier. Nor would I mind 600 bones. The biggest dogapede. Wait, isn't this like the screen before the boss? Wait, no. We get on a train before the boss. But hey, new checkpoint, still blue. Well, that guy wasn't so bad. I need to stop letting the expanding fireballs get me. So jumping does not let us avoid these ice daggers. And that was a case of me forgetting that Mina's burrowing mechanics change on ice. I don't like being so low on health when about to fight one of those guys. I should not have stayed standing on those icicles. I thought they would go away before harming me again. Clearly I thought wrong. Oh, now I don't have my ghosty friend. Again, getting myself to much lower health than I would like. Fighting him from a distance is definitely the safer option. And now I'm in a much better position to deal with this fella. Much better. I was lured. That was entrapment. Oh, didn't realize that those could explode both vertically and diagonally. Ooh, checkpoint. Where does this take us? Back there. Okay. Having a shortcut to here is very nice. And we're still blue. Of course, having a shortcut to here doesn't matter now that we've got a checkpoint here. But whatever. Goodbye, sir. Now it's boss time. That's the first time we've seen those wrenches return to this guy. Right, the mouth opens and we can fall in. There we go, boss down. Honestly, one of the easier bosses. Though admittedly, it would not have been nearly so easy if I didn't have as much health and defense as I do. Ooh, we can afford a new attack upgrade. Don't mind if I do. Right, having the Burrower's Codex for this section is actually very helpful. I wish I had it. Because this wind is something else. But we can get by burrowing. And we have beaten a boss and remained blue, so... time... to copy the file again! Missed at least one of those generator things. These guys. Which is a shame because they are worth quite a few bones here. Alright, made it to the top. Got a decent amount of bones. It's fine. Dear Mina, I read your letter with great care. Regarding the spark generator's threat, take heart. I share your concerns, yet, as you described, we face an even greater peril, their destruction at the hands of Thorn. He grows bolder and moves swiftly, rousing others to his cause. For all his talk of heroics, his path would see our life's work undone, and the people of Ossex left in darkness. I will try to head him off at the last generator. If I can reach him, perhaps I can turn his anger toward reason. I trust your judgment remains steady despite these recent developments. Yours always, Lionel. Mina, get some sleep. Just making sure we don't have to do the tower climb again. I don't think we need to avoid talking to that guy who was up there, but I haven't talked to him once yet, and hey, the fewer people we talk to, the fewer chances we have of accidentally doing something wrong. We're pretty close to where I can get the bike, so I might as well go get another bike. Being able to two-shot these guys is nice. Three-shot if I don't get them with the tip of my chain. Not here to play with you, Maxie. Nope, we do not want to go in there. You're not allowed to buy anything else from the weaponsmith. And let's sell our second coffin. As well as our shooty gun. I may love the shooty gun, but it's too risky. And at this point, I don't need the hammer. And I'll also sell my train pass to remove any temptation to use that again. And I just got the achievement for selling the maximum number of items to him. My shelves are full. I can't take any more inventory. You know, there's nothing that says we can't fight the optional boss over here, and it does give a health rose. Also, I guess there's this trinket. Still blue.
Who dares enter? Another mortal come to claim my eternal garden? You must be Evra, Godred's daughter. You've been down here all this time. Do you need help? My father, that filth! He deserves to rot in the very soil he worshipped. He died a weakling like the rest. Not me, though. I've tended this garden and fed it with death. I'll stay down here, alive forever. Evra, you don't have to live like this. Come back with me. There's still hope for you. Fool, I don't need saving. You're just like my father, so I'll send you to join him in death.
I don't know what that glowy thing was, but it was painful. Okay, so this is actually problematic. I just lost my weapon that is most useful for getting us across the gap to the boss. And I bet inside that candle there would be another weapon that could do that for us, but damned if I'm allowed to use it. Okay, so clearly I need to not let the big fella touch me. Because dang, he hurts. I needed to change my sub-weapon. Good news is we do that, and now we've got both our sub-weapons back. I'd rather have the shield than the bike. Wow, even the skeletons do a ton of damage. Wow, skeleton landed on me and killed me. So yeah, this is gonna be a rough fight, that much is clear. I definitely need to heal more often. Problem is how much plasma I lose upon taking a hit. Also, him being so massive means it's very easy to get hit. Seriously, dude is huge. Yeah, I don't mind losing 600 bones. I've still got the sub-weapon that I need to get to him easily. Really wanted to heal before losing all that plasma. I don't need to bother breaking all these. Just enough to get me across, which actually means none of them, because these exist. Just gotta make sure to always swap to the empty slot before the actual fight proper. I really wish that this game's large enemies didn't have their whole body as a hitbox. I've said it before on the Madhouse, but what is the point of giving your enemy a shadow if that shadow does not identify where on the floor said enemy is? All that shadow tells us under him is where his feet are. And even though it looks like, oh yeah, big boy's real tall, surely I should be able to stand behind him. No, you cannot stand behind him. That is asking too much. Also, wow, I forgot to change my sub-weapon there, and now it's gone. We can't get back to the boss. Time to reload a save. Yeah, if you're not gonna let me stand behind the boss, Make the shadow cover his whole sprite instead of only the feet. Also, don't make her popping out of there open up all the flowers. That's just wasted free heals. Getting caught in a corner like that is definitely not the way to go. I don't remember this guy being this hard. Part of it's probably the weapon that I'm using. The shooty gun is really good for bosses that you don't want to get near because they're huge and do tons of damage. There's probably also better trinkets I could be using. For reals though, I think my biggest issues here that are leading to my... I forgot to change some weapons again. The things that are leading to my death more than anything else are his size and the fact that the skeletons he throws out, one of them is basically always going to land pretty much exactly where you are. I just loaded the exact same file that I came from. Might as well open that up, and then I'm going to change my trinkets. Intravenous vial might actually be worth it. And then primed vial pouch, just so that we always can get heals. Is there anything else that I might like for this? Not really. Let's give this a shot. And let's copy the save again, so that I don't have to repeatedly change my trinkets, and so that I don't have to reopen the keyer block every time I want to reload my save. Be nice if we could skip this. Oh, we can. Okay. I think intravenous vial actually might have been the best choice I made here. Okay, we got him. And yep, still blue. That boss, while being optional, is allowed. So going to the orrery, I'm going to want the pit preserver. Also, using intravenous vial and plasma funnel at the same time is not ideal. Not that it matters anymore. Yeah, I think we're fine with what we got. And let's go ahead and copy that save so that I never have to do that boss again. And to the orrery we go. And drop that down so we never have to take the funny platforms back up here. Need to be a little bit more careful. Okay, let's actually change rows when we are close to where we can do something about anything. And we'll start on the top right here. There's a new checkpoint. We are still blue. I don't know that there's actually anything we're not supposed to do in the orrery. Yeah, other than down below not giving the brains to the doctor. Yeah. There is nothing other than the generic stuff we need to avoid here. So no candles still. But we don't gotta worry about accidentally doing or not doing anything else. I still do love how this area plays with the fact that we're in a 2D perspective. And therefore, they don't have the traditional things changing depth and whatnot. So yeah, they just have these black holes erase what counts as a wall for a while, and thus we can just go right through what is a wall in terms of gameplay, but what is a ledge in terms of aesthetic. It plays with 2D space, and I really like that. It's neat. feel like I should be able to jump over that ring, but you can only jump over it when it's grounded, which actually makes it really annoying. At least there's a tell for when he's going to do grounded versus not grounded. I haven't been paying enough attention before to actually see that, but I see it now. One corner down. Might as well get this. Oh, it's the other shooty gun. And since I've already gotten a shooty gun before, it won't auto-change my weapon. Huzzah. Our research was deemed too radical, so Lionel stationed us up here, away from prying eyes. And we're still blue. So no accidental candle killings. I believe I never touched that checkpoint before. Alright, now for bottom right. I guess we're going clockwise. And you know what? This is a new checkpoint. If memory serves, this was the most difficult of the 4 challenges that this place has for us. But it's also the one with the cubes! I almost ran out of cube time. Actually, hang on. I need to take a phone call that's incoming. Okay. Now we have our cube. And can feed all matter to it. Because all matter exists for the benefit of cube. That was a candle, not a cube. I'm gonna hold off. So that's that. Bonestone gotten. Now let's come over here because we are done with things we can do on this side over there. At least temporarily. Shame we actually fed the cube here to another cube, so we can't just get an easy cube to bring back. Instead, we gotta go to the far cube over here. Hey there, Outlander. Congrats on getting your car serviced. I know that is often a hassle. I hope you enjoy that long trip you've got coming up. A cube! Not that I have much need of a cube right now. But we can still feed more matter to a cube. Alright, new checkpoint. Still blue. Need to actually leave so it auto-saves again. Right, this. I had forgotten all about this auto-scroller. With its funny floor. Yeah, I'll take that defense up. Looks like we've got a space knight down there. I almost got out of there. Oof, and getting started back before the auto-scroller is kind of annoying. I feel like there was more that could be gotten around here, but the camera doesn't scroll vertically here. Which means that if there is more to be gotten, then it is meant to be gotten some other way. Yeah, Outlander, I agree. The tipper hitbox for the whip is too strict. Especially for large enemies approached from anywhere other than the side. Well, thank you, Gear, for pulling him away from us before he did that. And for how strict the tipper hitbox is, it doesn't do enough extra damage to be super worth going for. It's kind of a shame. Like, it certainly sounds impressive when you land a tipper hit, but it's not as impressive as it sounds. Like, it barely does more damage. Like, I would want to see 50% more for how difficult it is to get a tipper, but I think it's like 10, maybe 20%. It's not a lot. Still blue. Not going to save just yet, though, because I know for a fact that the next place we go is going to have its own checkpoint. Oh, right, we gotta get up there from a different spot. So, bottom left. I guess we are, in fact, going clockwise. To the mutant lab. And still blue. No surprise there. You know what? I have an idea. I think the voltaic guard will matter here. I'm a fool. I wasn't trying to jump into the little hole there. Okay, Voltaic Guard does matter, though not for the enemy that I expected it to. Oh, no, it matters for their chain as well. Okay. So I was right to equip the Voltaic Guard. Getting hit and having the knockback end us on one of these sends us under it, and that is annoying. That was a candle. I was attacking that guy when he was awfully close to a candle. That was risky. Just looking in that bottom right corner, making sure there's no sparkle there. I do see a sparkle on the top left. I don't like that his ring can get us through the floor, nor do I like how accurate he is with his ring toss. That Bridge Weaver is, I believe, the last trinket in the game that I actually cared about. I don't believe I've ever seen one of those enemies summon those guys before. Oh, we can't actually get in there to beat him just yet. Because this is in the way. Time to once again feed all matter to the cube. Cube so hungry. There's a sparkly over there. Hang on, Cube. Shame I can't bring Cube with me. Drop that rope. Gain access to this shop. I mean, hey, might as well. And a mist jar is much better than an empty slot. Actually, yeah, we can just go this way. And that's a new checkpoint. We are still blue. I don't think the Voltaic Guard's gonna matter anymore, but I'll just keep it on because it's easier than changing it out. Actually, wait, there is one more trinket that I would like to have access to. The dodge pendulum. I swear I'm just getting lucky with which guys are activating. Okay, it's a good thing that there are some flavors of guy that send all rows back, because otherwise this row would have gotten all the way, and that would have been a problem. And if we dropped from right here, then that's a bone stone for us. I could go max my attack and defense right now. But doing so would deny me any potential value in boning up out in the field. Oh, wait. There was a breakable. Thankfully, I can go right back. At the cost of 2 seconds of Mina's life. Or minutes or something. Days? I think it's days. Each time you... Yeah, I think it's each time you go through one of these, it's a day off your life. Thankfully, we're not going through too many. Now that all 4 corners have been hit, it's time to hop in here. See that we are, in fact, still blue. I don't recall whether there's another checkpoint, so I'm going to treat this as if it's the last one before the boss. The thinking on it, I'm pretty sure there is at least one more before the boss, because there's like another gauntlet to go through. That guy's back, but we don't have to deal with him. There is no checkpoint in here, so I still am convinced that I made the right call earlier. Almost didn't hit that. Dang it. In fact, didn't hit that. There we go. I don't feel like those should have been on a timer. Getting hit there is a problem. Cube, I need you. Cube, you can stay there for now. And still blue.
Really wish I could attack at a diagonal with this thing. Feed cube to cube. Saving up for an actual level. Having him unable to actually reach us made that battle much easier than it otherwise would have been. And it's boss time. Feels a little rude that they make us go through a Space Knight right before this. Now we know that Voltaic Guard is good against this boss. Alright, phase 1 done. But phase 1 wasn't the hard one. I need help. I don't like that there's two of them. Looks like they can harm each other. That's at least good to know. Alright, so, now, with the knowledge that we are about to fight a boss, let's grab our intravenous vial. I wonder how that mixes with vial salvo. Steady souls aren't too likely to be too helpful. Shock Flint is going to stop being useful very quickly, so I'm not going to grab it. I'm going to grab the primed vial pouch. And now to once again use the cube against the... Or not use the cube against the cube. Now to use the cube against the cube. Shame you can't bring the cube in here. Cube would be good against Space Knight. But we can just run right by the Space Knight.
Okay, phase 1 down. Intravenous vial was not doing the healing that I was hoping it would. Seems it requires you to have an actually pretty significant amount of plasma before it'll auto-heal you. I wish I didn't throw myself into that hole there. Ooh, I do not mind having gotten so many tippers just there. I need to get myself more health. Which is generally not done by running directly into enemies. Guess maybe the plasma funnel does have some value even when you have the intravenous vial. The hands are invulnerable. Game, I feel like this is plenty of plasma for the intravenous vial to go. There you go. Okay, no, they don't hurt each other. Okay, 1 down. 2 down. The intravenous vial actually got the second one here. But then we still have to fight the skull, right? Yeah. Now it's done. I'm gonna go ahead and not talk to these guys because I know that talking to them makes them die and maybe the game won't like that. And we're still blue. To remember that if we touch any of the purple stuff, then it's instantly back to start. Of course, if we touch the lightning, it's also instantly back to start. This tower is annoying. Sometimes Mina doesn't jump as far as I want her to. And sometimes she moves up when I press down. I mean, she went down a little bit, but the fact that she still continued up. I mean, yeah, we've got the rope pulling us up and all that, but still, having instant fall traps on one of these towers is just rude. It's very rude. Especially when you pop out of there and it... I don't know if maybe I was actually jumping on previous attempts, but sometimes it feels like I pop out of there and I can cross over the first line of purple stuff. But then other times it feels like I can jump over there and no, that line of purple stuff is gonna grab me. So I will maintain it is very rude to have instant fall traps on one of these towers. Especially when Mina controls so differently from how she does in any other circumstance. I don't know. What makes me sometimes able to go over that and sometimes not? I don't think I was jumping before, but maybe I was. Okay, that time I just held up and was able to cross it. So yeah, I did not jump. I held up. So apparently trying to jump makes it harder to go over the obstacle. Because that makes sense. And yet sometimes holding nothing at all causes Mina to bonk on the obstacle ahead of this. Game, let me get in the thing. I have obtained cube, but now I no longer have cube. Okay, we're done with that tower. I am 100% not going to do that again. Thorn, you've lost sight of your purpose. You've wrought chaos and destruction, hurting all of us. No, you did that by creating these electric monstrosities. Listen to me, I've come to see their danger. But if you destroy them, their poison will seep into the land permanently. The Isles would be doomed forever. There is a solution, but only if you'll put an end to your sabotage. One by one, the Hollower has repaired the generators. Once complete, she can power them all down safely at the core. Mina spoke the truth? She means to dismantle them? I don't believe you! See for yourself, she's restored all but the one we stand upon. The Isle already glows with spark. Soon we'll power them all down from Radiant Tower, at the heart of Ossex. Together we can end this misery. Step forth from the shadows, Thorn. We can still save everyone. Take my hand and let's put this to rest. Bit rude there, Lionel. A fitting fall for a flying pest. Ha! To think I trusted you as my Marshal of the Guard. Alrighty, let's hop in here. Mina has been up for over 48 hours straight. This isn't healthy, girl. Confirming we are still blue after that tower. Not that anything on the tower could have stopped us from being blue. But making sure I never have to climb that tower again. So, fun fact, you can finish this fight without ever attacking. I mean, you can also just leave. That's an option. But survive long enough, and this fight ends the same way it would have had you actually beaten him up and won. And there it is. Having both of these buttons just out in the open like this, it's not very secure. Here's the checkpoint. Well, I guess we are about to go see whether we have, in fact, earned the special ending. Ah, there you are. I believe the Master would like a word with you. Mina, welcome. We were just toasting to the restored spark generators, the pillars of Ossex's prosperity. Please, take a seat. So, we're being asked to take a seat instead of... Or wait, no, this happened before. You're hosting dinner while monsters assault the Isle? Why are your guards attacking me? What in blazes is going on? Mina, no one's attacking you. This is your triumph. A toast to a new era. What monsters do you mean? Monsters! Birthed by our generators! You cast Thorn into one. He was twisted into a beast, just like the rest. Nonsense. The beasts are sentinels, Mina. They guard the generators, the lifeblood of Ossex. Guardians? You'll make monsters of us all! The line between guardian and beast is thin, Mina. From what we've seen, it seems you are the monster. But I thought I was still blue. All of Tenebrous Isle has been upended by your so-called heroics. Let us recount. Okay, maybe we have, in fact, remained blameless this whole time. Does no one have a single complaint? Mina, perhaps I judged too soon. Why, you're quite the model citizen. I'm proud of you, Mina. You've grown into a fine young lady. And with that thought, my thanks to all for a delightful evening. Everyone, please allow Mr. Fergus to see you out safely. Mina, come. Let us dream of a bright future together. Together, with our virtue, we can make this isle a beacon to the world. Will you join me in my unending quest to build a better world? So, saying of course here is what gets us the alternate ending. Being able to say this requires us to have been blameless, nobody having a single complaint. I believe if we say never, it just takes us down the path to the other ending anyway. I'd like nothing better than to be by your side. Just the two of us can change everything. Ha ha! That's my girl. We have so much ahead of us. Let's make a plan. First, we rid the Isle of Thorn's rebellion. Ooh. I have control here, and apparently we can fast forward the credits. And we can even rewind them! But rewinding them does not make the sun any less set. Or rise, or whatever. Hey Lionel, how's it going? So is that all there is to it, or is there something post-credits for this one too? There is something post-credits for this one too. You made it. Thorn and his rebellion are snuffed out. The island is thriving on spark. We did it, Mina. At last we did it. I was expecting a little more from this ending. So, our choices are either help the villain or do the right thing but make everything bad for everyone for a while because of it. And it looks like the autosave is at the dining room, so let's see if we go back to the exact same ending. If we... Actually, we can... I have a feeling, saying never. In our better days, we forged the spark generators, chasing a vision of a dawn yet unseen. It's heartbreaking to see how far apart our ideals have drifted. Is there truly no way to guide us back? All this lofty talk, enough! You betrayed me and Thorn and everyone on Tenebris. All of this is your fault, and you're still lying about it. How could you drag us all into the abyss? I let you. I helped you. I trusted you. Mina, the time has come for a clean break. Okay, so yeah, from this point, it would just go on to the same exact ending we have seen on the first run. Still blue, though. But yeah, the only difference is whether we get to, or whether anyone blames us and whether we get to choose to join hands with him. So the rest of this game would proceed as the first run did, so I think I'm going to go ahead and call it a stream. So that's going to be it for my playing of Mina the Hollower on stream. Thanks, folks, for dropping by to watch and chat and all of that. Hope you enjoyed watching as much as I enjoyed playing. This game has been very fun. I wish it was possible to get a happier ending. But not every game has a happy ending. That's just how it goes. Well, yeah. I will be back on Saturday for something. I'm not sure what I'm going to play on Saturday yet. We're going to find out together, probably. So I will see you then, friends.